What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of J&E Sports Talk. Today is Victory Monday. Like this video, comment down below what your favorite team is if you are celebrating Victory Monday. If not, there's always another week next week, even though there's 2 left. This week, my predictions were not the greatest. I'll take full accountability for that. It's on me. We got to be better in every aspect of the picking. We're better than this, and we're going to roll forward better than this. So, last 2 weeks have been mid-picking games. 8-8, 9-6, not where it needs to be. 10-4 is good. 10-6 is better. Not better than 10-4, but yeah. Like I said, midweek of picking games. We'll recap how the games went real quick. Thursday night, we talked about that one. Saturday, the Eagles got the win. I picked the Packers. They should have won. Buffalo got the win. Chargers got the win. Chiefs lost to the Titans. Vikings got the win. Panthers got the win. Bengals, Saints, Jaguars beat the Broncos. That was a good game for them. Falcons beat the Cardinals. I picked the upset there. It almost happened. They were up 10-0. And the Lions lost to Steelers. That was a weird last play. And then the Texans and the Patriots got the win. Tonight, I picked the Niners. Like I said, though, 9-6, not the greatest. Could be better. But hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to talk about every single game that happened besides the Rams and Seahawks, because we talked about that in Saturday morning video. Make sure you go check that out, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. All right, we got 2 Saturday games to talk about, and then about 12 Sunday games to talk about. Let's get right into it. Eagles at Commanders. This game was pretty good, I would say. Obviously, everyone expected the Eagles to win. They improved to 10-5. Meanwhile, the Commanders dropped to 4-11. Eagles are the 3rd seed. Commanders, obviously, they're looking ahead after the season. I thought the Eagles' offense was solid in this game. They started slow. Like, they didn't really get going until the second half. And then after that, they got it going. Commanders were off to a fast start, though. Eagles fumbled the opening kickoff, if I remember correctly. And Jalen Hurts was solid, 22 for 30, 185, 2 touchdowns. Barkley had a really good day, 132 with a touchdown. Tank Bigsby also had a touchdown. A.J. Brown had 95 yards. Smith caught a touchdown. Goddard caught a touchdown. And meanwhile, for the Commanders, I know Marcus Mariota got hurt. He was kind of hurt everywhere. He had a head injury, I think back injury and ankle injury. Josh Johnson came in, wasn't the greatest. Rodriguez and Bill scored, but not much going in the Commanders' receiving aspect. And then defensively for these teams, Cooper DeJean had an interception and no picks for Washington. This game, Commanders were up at halftime. I think it was like 10-7. But then once Eagles' offense got going, they didn't really look back. They took the win, as everyone expected. Packers should have won this game, if you ask me. I think if they won this game, it would have probably eliminated the Lions for the most part. Yeah, they should have won this game. Let me see how much they were up. They were up like 13-3 with 12 minutes left. And the way this game was going is every point mattered. And it was a highly defensive game. It went to overtime. DJ Moore threw a nice, I think it was like a 40-yard touchdown to DJ Moore to walk it off. I'm glad DJ Moore caught it. He had a big game, 97 yards and a touchdown. Walker also caught a touchdown. His celebration was cool. But unfortunately for Green Bay, Jordan Love got a concussion in this game. He got hit in the head while he was, I think it was right after he threw the ball or he had the ball. I can't quite remember. But he put his head down, helmet to helmet, took a hit, concussion. Malik Willis came in. He's solid, man. He could potentially start for another team next year as a bridge. But he went 9 for 11, 121 in the touchdown. Manuel Wilson averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Yeah, I mean, this was a good game. Romeo Doubs had a touchdown. But it was a defensive game. And that it was very windy. The conditions definitely played a factor in how this one went. But it was a good game, and the Bears got the win. But the Packers should have won, if you ask me. Now we got the Carolina Panthers taking the division lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 23-20. Panthers improved to 8-7 as the 4 seed. Tampa dropped 7-8 as a 10th seed. Tampa is 1-6 in their last 7 games. Baker Mayfield didn't shut the fuck up in the first quarter. Then he got humbled through a game-losing pick to Lathan Ransom in the final drive of the game. Bucky Irving had 71. Egbuka had 1 catch. T-Mac is Rookie of the Year. Mike Evans had a touchdown. He always scores against Carolina. Nothing new. Tampa's defense didn't do anything. And then Bryce Young, 21 for 32, 191, 2 touchdowns. Rico had 29, Chuba had 27. Solid running game there. But mainly Tedero McMillan, 6 catches, 73, and a touchdown. Jalen Coker had another good game, 3 catches, 47. Defensively for Carolina, Nick Scott had 10 tackles. Rose Boom and Derek Brown had a sack. And then Lathan Ransom had that pick at the end of the game to seal it. This was a good game for the Carolina Panthers. I'm really happy we won. Obviously, like I said, I'm very happy that we won, but I'm not going to fully celebrate it because we still play these guys again in Week 18, and that game is going to decide the NFC South. All right, next up, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Cleveland Browns. Bills get a 23-20 win. I think Buffalo fans thought this would be a blowout. I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a close game, considering the fact that Stefanski always has that team competitive for the most part. He's a good coach. Browns dropped to 3-12. Buffalo improves 11-4. They haven't clinched a playoff spot yet, but they are close to. I think if they just get one more win. Josh Allen, I know he hurt his ankle a bit in this game, but he threw for 130. James Cook took over, 16 carries, 117, and 2 touchdowns. Ty Johnson also had a touchdown. Shakir led the team in receiving, 4 catches, 34. Cleveland's defense did a good job in holding Buffalo this game. Jordan Poyer had an interception. Daquan Jones had his first career interception. And then Shedeur Sanders, 2 interceptions, 157. He didn't play that great. Every time I seen him, he was holding the ball too long like he did in college. He was also their leading rusher. Also, I feel really bad for Quishon Judkins. I hope he's okay. That was a tough injury. I hope he recovers. Harold Fannin Jr. ran in a 1-yard touchdown. And who is that? Travion Williams led the Browns in receiving. Harold Fannin Jr. technically did 434 and a touchdown. Defensively for Cleveland, Myles Garrett is getting closer to that sack record. Carson Schwarzenegger had a sack for Cleveland. Where's Myles Garrett? He had a half, right? Yep, he had a half. I think he needs one more sack to break the record. But overall, Cleveland's defensive efforts wasn't enough. Chargers blowing out the Cowboys 34-17. The Chargers are kind of rolling now. 300 for Herbert, 2 touchdowns. What's the Chargers win streak here? On a win streak of 4. They've won 6. They won 7 of the last 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, no one talks about that. Won 7 of their last 8. Marion Hampton, 16 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. He balled out. Herbert also ran one in. Quishon Johnson, what a freaking throw and catch from Herbert to Johnson there. 4 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. Ladd McConkey also had a touchdown. Derwin James forced a fumble. No interceptions for the Chargers. And they had 1 sack, and that was by Turupuru. I always say his name wrong, but he's having a great year. 13 sacks. He's from Southern Carolina. Is that where he played college? Thought he was... Huh. Okay. Well, he's having a great year. And then meanwhile for Dallas, Dak Prescott, 244, 2 touchdowns. Javonte Williams only had 34 yards on the ground. George Pickens, 7 catches, 130 and a tud. Ryan Fournier had a touchdown. Defensively for Dallas, not much going. Look, Dallas got blown out. They're officially eliminated from playoff contention, regardless of what happened in this game, because the Eagles won Saturday night. I think the Cowboys haven't had a terrible year, if you ask me. I think they just started the season too slow, and they've been playing better recently, but Chargers get the win here. Saints and Jets. Saints get the win 29-6, even though this was like 6-6 at one point. I could be wrong. Yeah, this was 6-6 up until halftime pretty much, and then Saints got a field goal before then. Started the third quarter 9-6, and the Saints took control. Brady Cook threw a pick. Breece Hall only had 54. Isaiah Davis had 4 catches, 52. Tyler Shuck, 308, a touchdown. Taysom Hill threw a 38-yard touchdown to Chris Olave, who had 10 catches, 148, and 2 touchdowns. Kellen Moore knows how to use him. Let's just say that. And then Sanker had an interception for the Saints. And yeah, this game was pretty much a blowout. Boring at first, but a blowout. Obviously I didn't watch it, so I was watching the Panthers game. But Saints improved to 5-10. Honestly, Saints keep winning because I want you guys to keep messing up your draft pick. Yeah, keep winning, Saints. Go ahead. And the Falcons' first round pick is owned by the Rams, so I don't have to worry about them. Minnesota and Giants. Boy, do the Giants fans wish they had Brian Daboll back because at least he made this team look competitive. The Giants were fucking awful. 7 for 13, 33 yards and an interception, 71 on the ground. This is so bad. 3 catches for 19. That's a first quarter receiving stat line, by the way, for the Giants. Paulson Adebo had a pick. Brian Burns had 2 sacks. Bro, come back to Carolina. Why do you want this dude is so fucking petty. He wanted like $3 more million than what he's getting with the Giants. Dude, if you stayed in Carolina, you'd be on a winning team, and we would love this number right here. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, 9 for 14, 108, and a pick for JJ. Aaron Jones had a decent day on the ground, 85 yards. JJ ran in a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, finally they gave him the ball. JJ to JJ, 6 catches, 85. Yeah, Vikings got a win. It was definitely ugly. Yeah, I feel bad for anyone who spent hard-earned money to go to that game. Chiefs at Titans. I've seen literally nothing from this game. I know Gardner Minshew tore his ACL, which is very unfortunate. Chris Aludikun, if I said the name right, came in for Kansas City. I think he's undrafted. 7th round pick. 28 years old. Drafted in 2022. Yeah, thrown for 111. Chiefs were nothing going. They might get a top 10 pick, realistically. They lost the last 4 games. They play the Broncos. There's no way they beat them. And the Raiders, which they'll probably win. But you never know. And then for Tennessee, Cam Ward. Tennessee's offense has been playing better. Is anyone going to talk about that? 31 against the Browns, 24 against the 49ers, and then 26 against the Chiefs. They've been playing a little better. Cam Ward is the answer, by the way. 228, 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard had over 100 on the ground. Tony Pollard needs a new team in the offseason. Tajay Spears had a touchdown. Chris Okonkwo had a touchdown. Cameron Dickey had a touchdown. A.O. Minor, 3 catches, 58. And then defensively for Tennessee, no picks. They had a good day, though. Definitely had a good day. Oh, yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. Isn't it crazy how the Jets don't have a single interception this season? If they don't get one in 2 games, that is historically bad. But Titans, good win, man. Your fan base deserves this one at home. It probably felt nice to see in person. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals putting absolute BTA to the Miami Dolphins, 45-21. Bengals are 5-10. Dolphins are 6-9. And Quinn Ewers, first game starting for the Dolphins, 20 for 30, 260 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Devon Achane, 81 yards and a touchdown. Just give him the ball. Jalen Wright also had a touchdown. Malik Washington had a 9-yard rushing touchdown. And then Jalen Waddle obviously led the team in receiving, 5 catches, 72. Defensively for Miami, not much really going. Obviously, they allowed 45. But Joe Burrow put up, I'm still Joe Burrow game. 25 for 32, 309, 4 touchdowns. Chase Brown ran 1 in. Samaje Perine ran 1 in. Chase, 9 catches, 109. T. Higgins had a touchdown, and Chase Brown had 2 more touchdowns. Chase Brown had 3 touchdowns. What a day for him. But yeah, Bengals get the blowout win here. This one was not really close. Falcons and Cardinals. I was hoping the Cardinals pulled off this upset, but honestly, Falcons 6-9. They're not even that far from the second place in the division. They're 1 game back. That's actually insane if you think about it. They're on a little win streak themselves too. They have the Rams and the Saints. Yeah, 6-9. Obviously, they don't got anything to play for. 197, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tyler Algier, 79 yards. Kirk Cousins ran 1 in. Kirk Cousins, tush push. or a QB sneak. Bijan Robinson, 92 yards, touchdown. Kyle Pitts, bro, contract year for Kyle Pitts, and he's balling out. He has 80 catches, 854. This is what he's supposed to fucking do, and he finally does it. But yeah, Falcons, Cardinals started. Oh, CJ Henderson with an interception. Cardinals started 10-0, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they were 10-0, and they just choked it away. I kind of wish the Cardinals won this game, but, it is what it is. I don't really want NFC teams getting a high draft pick. Jaguars with a statement win over Denver. Jacksonville Jaguars, I will start respecting you from now on. But I guarantee you next week you will give me a reason not to. Oh, yeah, you will find a way. Trevor Lawrence, 279, 3 touchdowns. He's been playing really good football. Trevor Etienne, 50 yards. Trevor Lawrence, 6 carries, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Parker Washington, 6 catches, 145, and a touchdown. Brenton Strange also caught a touchdown. Travis Etienne caught a touchdown. And then defensively, Jack Jones had a pick. I believe that's Jerryon Jones. I always mix him up. Sorry. Yeah, Jaguars had a really good game. Bo Nix looked a little lost out there. 352, a touchdown and a pick. RJ Harvey, he's having a good year. He had a touchdown. Courtland Sutton, 686 and a touchdown. I feel like he doesn't have really any touchdowns this year. I really feel like he doesn't. Let's see. Courtland Sutton. How many touchdowns does he have? 7? Wow. I don't know. All right, well, Courtland Sutton got a touchdown. Good for him. He's always been an underrated player for the Broncos. And then defensively for the Broncos, no picks, which is kind of surprising, but they did have some sacks. Riley Moss, Jones, John Franklin Myers had 2 sacks. Yeah, they got to the quarterback, Malcolm Roach. But Jacksonville's offense played really good in this game. Trevor Lawrence has been on a tear. I don't know his exact stats recently, 26-11, but I don't think he's thrown a pick in a while. I could definitely be wrong. Here we go. 3, 5, yeah. Since that Cardinals game, 2 touchdowns. He has 12 touchdowns and no picks in the last 4 games, which is really good for him. Good for him, honestly. Jaguars get a nice win over the Broncos. Steelers and Lions. Like I said, the last play of the game was weird if you haven't seen it. Amon-Ra St. Brown caught the ball right at the goal line, got an OPI. Then he threw it back to Jared Goff. Jared Goff ran people over and scored. But then they said the play didn't count because an offensive penalty on the last play of the game doesn't add any more clock. So it is what it is. Lions lost. But honestly, that play shouldn't really cause any drama because the Steelers kind of dominated the whole game. I don't think we're going to see the Lions in this postseason. I know they're a good team on paper, but a lot of injuries on the defensive side. Aaron Rodgers, 266, a touchdown. Jaylen Warren, 14 carries, 143, and 2 touchdowns. He had 10.2 yards a carry. He destroyed that Detroit's run defense. Kenneth Gainwell, 5 catches, 78, a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell had a really good game. That receiving touchdown was insane if you haven't seen it. Adam Thielen, 4 catches, 49. By the way, good game for Tomlin here. Respect to him because his run defense against Buffalo was really bad. But look what Jahmyr Gibbs did. 7 for 2, 4 for 14. So his defense did a really good job of stopping that run. But Jared Goff, 364, 3 touchdowns. Jameson Williams, 70 yards. Gibbs, Cleve Raymond caught a touchdown. Isaac Tesla caught a touchdown. And then defensively for Detroit, they didn't have any picks. 2 sacks by Aiden Hutchinson. He probably has like 10 or 11 this year, I would guess. Let's see, 12. Okay, right fucking there. Yeah, Steelers kind of dominated this one. It wasn't the most started out high scoring game. 10-10. Yeah. Then they got a safety, and it was 15-10 for a while. Pittsburgh scored. Then Detroit got 2 touchdowns late. Steelers almost lost though. Amon-Ra St. Brown did score at the end of the game, but they called a pick, which was the right call. But Houston and Raiders, this game was much closer than I thought it would be. I thought Houston would win 40-0, legitimately. Geno Smith had 2 touchdowns, 201. Let me tell you guys about Ashton Jeanty. Everyone shits on him, but he's just on a terrible team. He's been playing good. 24 carries, 128 and touchdown. He He also had a 60-yard touchdown catch. That was a really good throw, really good catch. Brock Bowers, annual touchdown. And then defensively for the Raiders, no interceptions and not even a single sack. Meanwhile, for Houston, CJ Stroud, 187 touchdown. Houston extends their win streak, 4 catches, 59. Dalton Schultz had a touchdown. Defensively for Houston, Derek Stingley Jr. had a pick. But yeah, this team has been on a tear. They've been playing good football at the right time. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-game win streak. Won 8 of their last 9, which is really good. They're balling out. And good for H-Town because they deserve to be in the playoffs with the defense that they have. Patriots get a win over the Ravens. Ravens really needed this win, and I could tell you the exact fucking reason they lost. John Harbaugh not giving the ball to Derrick Henry, who was averaging 7.1 yards carry, 2 touchdowns, 128, 18 carries. I'm not even remotely close to being a Ravens fan. I don't even know if I like him at all. But give him the ball. He has 7.1 yards a carry, and they're doing this 3-back bullshit. Keaton Mitchell has 9 carries for 13 yards. It's just ridiculous to me. He's playing well. The man is getting 7.1 yards carry, 2 touchdowns, 128, and they stop giving him the fucking ball, especially when Lamar Jackson gets hurt. They have a backup quarterback in. He didn't play bad, don't get me wrong. Hope Lamar's okay. But give him the ball. He's the hot hand of the offense. Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 84. I mean, they do this every fucking year, the Ravens. This is why they lost in the playoffs to Buffalo. They stopped giving Henry the ball. Earlier this season against Buffalo, stop giving him. Just give him the fucking ball and you will win games, Baltimore. I promise you. It's obvious from a viewing standpoint. He needs to get the ball when he's at putting 7 yards. The Patriots had no answer for him. They had no fucking answer for him. They really didn't. If you watch that game, they had no idea how to tackle him. And they stopped giving him the ball. It was insane, dude. Marlon Humphrey had a pick. Drake May never throws picks, which is why it was so surprising. Drake May, 380, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 carries, 51 yards and a touchdown. Diggs had a really good game, 9 catches, 138. Kyle Williams had a touchdown. Hunter Henry had a touchdown. And then offensively for New England, besides not being able to tackle Henry, who only got the ball 18 times, should have got it 20, 25 times, did well. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. Please subscribe. Check out any other videos if you're new. This is my dream job. Check out my TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter at JD Sports Talk, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.